the use of technology in the growing of both crops and livestock, as you will see later on. This facility brings to 2 the number of such facilities established so far, with the other being in Region 5. As you will hear, more will be established across the country. But I get ahead of myself. Let's bring our first speaker to the podium. He is no stranger to any of us. He is the regional chairman, Mr. David Armagon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Master of Ceremonies, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Comrade Zulfikar Mustafa, other members of the head table, members of the Central Corentyne Chamber of Commerce and Development, school children, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Today is a very significant day in our region once again when it comes to agricultural development. I recall not so long ago, a few weeks ago, whilst we were having the Berbice Expo and Trade Fair, the president of the Central Corentyne Chamber did make a call to the Honorable Minister to set up a model farm here somewhere in the Berbice region, whereby school children and adults and everyone else who have an interest can come and look at what is happening in terms of building a model farm and what you can do to ensure that you can rear your animals in a model area. And today, just weeks ago, today, that idea that Mr. Punai pushed forward is being manifested, as you can see. But before that, I thought Minister had this idea himself. And so all that Mr. Punai did was to push him to move a little faster. But as you know, our minister is a man of action. Once he's committed to do something, he gets it done. And he gets it done quickly. In Guyana today, we are moving very fast in terms of development. The oil industry, which seems to be the main industry now in our country in terms of development, will continue to be so for a little while, for some time to come. But whilst we are getting money from ExxonMobil and from the oil sector, the agricultural sector is second most important for us here in Guyana. The reason being, because oil is a finite commodity, and one day it will be finished. So whilst we are gaining money from the oil sector, this government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, is investing very heavily in terms of the promotion of agriculture within our region. Minister, I want to thank you for the energy that you've been showing within, as leader of the agriculture sector, not only in this region here, but in this country as a whole. Every single day, this minister has been moving from place to place to ensure that he brings development in the agricultural sector to the various communities in our country. Today, we are witnessing growth not only in rice, we are witnessing growth in aquaculture, we are witnessing growth in cash crop farming, we are witnessing growth in animal husbandry and the rearing of animals. We are witnessing growth in almost every aspect of agriculture within our country. And so that is very important, because feeding ourselves is a priority. And being able to contribute to the decrease in the food import bill of CARICOM this country is expected to make a tremendous contribution. And so our president, being the lead person in agriculture within the region, has committed that by 2025, the import bill in the Caribbean for food will be reduced by 25%. And that is what we are working towards in Guyana. So today, as I said, it's an important day for us. And I'm glad that the school children are here too, because many school children have an interest in rearing animals and want to see a model farm. Whilst this is being developed, those students from around the community and around the Berbice area will have an opportunity to come and see firsthand how animals are being reared in a closed environment. You don't have to be able to graze them on the road. You can be able to rear animals and be able to increase your stock and be able to increase your production by doing exactly what we are demonstrating here today. And so we are happy that the school children are here, because you are the future of our country. You are the future. You are the people who in the next couple of years from now will be responsible for building the agricultural sector in our country. And so, Minister, on behalf of the people of this region, I want to say how extremely grateful we are to you and to the government of Guyana for doing this particular project and for all the work that you are doing in agriculture, not only here in Berbice, but also in the country as a whole. I thank you, and God bless all of you.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is an educator who has been working across this country, working with our youths and encouraging them in the pursuit of agriculture as a possible career choice. She's no other than Ms. Fiona Crandon, Education Officer with responsibility for agriculture in schools. Please put your hands together for Ms. Crandon.
Standing on all protocols already established, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Zulfikar Mustafa, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, teachers, students all, a pleasant good afternoon. Today we gather to celebrate a significant milestone in our agriculture journey, the opening of the Region 6 Model Farm. This is not just a piece of land, it is a vision, your vision, Minister, brought to life, a testament in innovation, sustainability, and good leadership, not to mention community collaboration. As we stand on this fertile ground, we are reminded of the vital role that agriculture plays in our lives. Our commitment to farming goes beyond mere production. It encompasses the principles of stewardship, environmental responsibility, and the pursuit of knowledge. This model farm serves as a beacon of hope, illustrating how we, as educators, students, and teachers, can harness modern techniques while respecting traditional practices. This initiative hopes to showcase the best practices in sustainable agriculture, from crop rotation and organic farming to innovative irrigation methods and renewable energy. We hope to inspire farmers, teachers, students, and yes, the community members alike, to adopt strategies not only enhancing productivity, but also protect the precious resource, our future. Students, that is you. We at the Ministry of Education, more so the TVET unit where I work, and just to pause here, the TVET unit is the unit that is responsible for technical and vocational education within the country. Sees this model farm as the government of Guyana commitment to education. Yes, I say commitment to education because the government of Guyana has just signed into action that regardless if a child gets grade 1 or 2 or 5 subjects, once a child has completed CPQ, the child has matriculated, meaning the child is fit to enter the workplace, a workplace like this. This model farm will equip students with the necessary skills to function out there. Not only students, but the Siripota College of Education can also use this model farm to teach our teachers the necessary skills in agriculture. Minister, you are paving the way for our students to gain practical experience. And again, the teachers at the Siripota College of Education. They can develop essential competencies and acquire skills that will prepare them for meaningful careers in agriculture. In a world, yes, Mr. Chairman, in a world where the demand for skilled labor is increasing, we recognize the importance of equipping our future workforce, you, our students, with hands-on training, real experience. This model farm will serve all 17 secondary schools within Region 6, an excellent platform for students to engage in experimental learning, working along experts like Ms. Subai and her team, industry professionals. This immersive environment will not only enhance their understanding of agriculture practices, but also encourage innovative problem solving and collaborations, skills that are critical for today's economy. Moreover, students, this initiative underscores the government of Guyana's commitment to promoting sustainable and responsible farming practices. This model farm serves as a living laboratory where you, the students, can learn about sustainable agriculture, environmental stewardship, and the importance of food security. By prioritizing values, we are ensuring that you, our students, are well prepared for your careers in agriculture. I would like to take a moment to express gratitude to the stakeholders and the government of Guyana for this vision brought to life. As we embark on this exciting journey, I encourage you all, students, community members, educators, teachers, to involve, visit the farm, participate in workshops and trainings conducted by the regional coordinator, and share your insights. Let this be a place where your ideas grow, and the students as well. In closing, we celebrate the opening of this model farm, a beacon of hope for an opportunity for our students. Together, we are just not building a model of agriculture excellence, we are cultivating future leaders. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Environmental stewardship, as mentioned, falls under the remit of our Environmental Protection Agency. And here representing that organization is Ms. Siobhan Sherry, an officer with the EPA.
Thank you. And the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Mrs. Officer Mustafa, Regional Chairman, Mr. Raven Armagan, Regional Vice Chairman, Mrs. Amal Hussein, Regional Agriculture Coordinator, Mr. Dennis Lulu, other members of the head table, special invitees, members of various organizations, members of various media houses, teachers, students, invitees, a pleasant good afternoon to you all. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate the Honorable Minister and his ministry and also the stakeholders who would have contributed towards this great initiative. The demonstration farm will serve as a bridge between farmers and researchers. It will be an excellent tool to showcase new developments to farmers and at the same time to bring their own innovation to the scientific community. Importantly, demo farms also allow to engage non-farming communities such as schools, universities, and even the consumers. This demonstration farm was designed not just to introduce innovative technologies, but to empower local farmers by showing them the tangible benefits of adopting new climate-smart practices. For these types of farms to be effective, a systemic approach is needed. For example, for those who might know, countries like the European Union, Ghana, they would have implemented demo farms, which would have helped in their research, would have helped in sustainable agriculture, and all those things, right? So you can do some research on that. Also, the focus here is beyond the production and farming issues. It entails societal challenges such as climate change, employment, biodiversity loss, and revival of rural areas. For example, our farming communities. So I urge all farmers, researchers, students to take full advantage of this initiative, which will aid in promoting sustainable agriculture, food security, and improving the livelihood of us all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The government has always spoken of forging partnerships in the business of agriculture. And over the years, there have been many public-private partnerships that have seen much benefits to both parties. The private sector has and continues to play a growing role in the advancement of agriculture in all of its many forms. And so it is that we invite to the podium a gentleman who has been at the helm of the private sector body here in Berbice for several years. He is himself involved in the agriculture sector and has first-hand knowledge of how important public-private partnerships are in agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Corentyne, President of the Central Corentyne Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Chairman. Honorable Minister, members of the head table, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, kids, friends all, pleasant good afternoon. Today is exactly 21 days from the day that I had challenged the minister that we need a model farm in Berbice. And we are here 3 weeks later, 21 days, and we are at the opening. This tells me very much about the quality of the minister that we have. It goes to say that the minister operates just as the private sector. Being from the private sector, we are known to get things done in a jiffy time. We don't, so much of protocols you got to go through. And, Minister, I must say that I'm very, very happy to be standing here this afternoon at this short notice that you've given and you've gotten this place open. We have to understand the importance of farming, and I just want to more talk to our young, the school kids here, or the young aspiring farmers. We have to see farming as not being something that, people got this concept that farming is someone with some cutlass and a whole bag hang over his shoulder, and just walk and chop little weed, plant little baigan, or mind 2 sheep and walk whole and raise it. No. Farming in the world today has taken a different is been done so differently. Whilst we are getting there, whilst we still have some old ways that we do things. But the Ministry of Agriculture, if we follow the news carefully, for this year alone, the minister had a lab open. We had a lab open so we can do testing. We can do different stuff. We are taking it to a different level. And the Ministry of Agriculture understands the importance of food security in Guyana. And if you look across the world and see what's happening today, food is becoming scarcer and scarcer, not just in Guyana, but the cost of living is going up throughout the world. And this is because of scarcity, different challenges, global warming, the older generation coming out of farming, the younger generation not being too inclined to be into farming. So I want to challenge these younger kids here, and I have Miss from the ministry. I think we would have to task you with let them understand the importance of what farming is. They might come to this farm in a couple of days, and they might feel that they're coming to a petting zoo. You know, when kids come, they see sheep and goat, and they feel that they come to a petting zoo, and might want to have this misconceived idea. But I want to challenge you that when they come here, or try to incorporate during the holiday session school programs that would get them with the long boots, and they would come in here and go clean the pig pen, and they would go clean the sheep pen, and they would go help cut grass, and they would go help to do things that would actually get them involved directly into agriculture. And that's when they would know the feeling of it. I must also tell you, see some of them smiling, it's a profitable business. Agriculture if you do it as a business, it is a profitable business. Many kids pass through school, we don't hear they say they want to become farmers. Everybody, lawyer, doctor, teacher, but hardly you hear they say they want to become farmers. But farming is a noble profession. It's a profession that we have used since man has been here. From gatherer to hunter. It's a profession that we feed ourselves and we feed the world. So I would like to encourage you very much. I'd like to encourage you to take up this profession, use it, use technology, because the technology is there. We have so much of drone technology that, I myself being a farmer, I have a drone when I go to the back dam, I do rice, I fly the drone, I would look at the rice field, I can look at the cattle that I have, drone technology. So we have to utilize this here. So I don't want to go on for more long. So Minister, once again, I'd like to thank you very much for this initiative. And before I close, I probably posing too much challenges to the Minister, but one other challenge, Minister, is that for some time now, for quite a few years, Guyana, in Berbice on the whole, we haven't had new lands opening for farming. And this is a great challenge for a lot of farmers. They want to do farming, but sometimes because of exorbitant rent and not having the adequate facility to do farming, it has become a challenge to them. So another task we have to look at is to find new land so we can have like another probably scheme open up somewhere, and we can distribute land to young entrepreneurs, young farmers, so they can ply this trade. So Minister, once again, thank you very much. Continue the good work that you're doing. And he's one of the ministers that over the years, that as soon as you call on him and ask him that, something need to be done or somewhere, some help needed, he's always there. He's always there to offer these help. So thank you very much, and God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now we come to our feature address. No stranger to any of us. Considered one of the most passionate ministers of this government, son of the soil here, and already declared the best agriculture minister we've seen in many moods. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Regional Chairman, Vice Chairman, other heads of departments, other members on the head table. You have a number of other notable personalities in the audience. You have a number of farmers here, large-scale farmers, special invitees, and our school children. I am very happy to be here this afternoon to commission this model farm. And this is the 4th model farm for us in the country, because we already have, and this is the second one in Berbice, Mr. Punai. This is the first in Region 6, but we have one in Fort Wellington in Region 5. And then we have one in Region 2 and Region 10. The objective of the Ministry of Agriculture is to have at least in every region of this country a model farm. And why it's important to have these model farms. As the chairman of the Corentyne Chamber just said, that sometimes people think that we want to bring them here to just take a look at the animal or some of the crops being grown here. But a model farm is very important for us, first of all, as we heard many speakers who spoke just now, talk about sustainable agriculture, talk about research and development, innovation and modernization. And that is all what we are trying to achieve in the agriculture sector. Because when you talk or when you speak about agriculture, many times our young people relate it as how Mr. Punai just described it. A job for people who never went to school, or a job for people in the middle or mature age, or a menial job, a job that doesn't have any significant, or what you will call it, they see it as a low paying job, a job that is low in status. But we are trying to change that perception. And here I want to disagree a little with the regional chairman when he said that agriculture is the second most important activity for us. For me, and I am not being prejudiced here, and all of you will agree with me wholeheartedly, that agriculture is the most important activity for all of us. Without agriculture, first of all, we can't have food. And we can't have food security. And that's the perception we have to change. We have seen what has happened during the pandemic. When we had the crisis in the pandemic, many countries around the world were unable to procure food for their population, although they are financially stable. Even the great United States, the President of the United States had to summon the Marine to get baby formula. And a lot of countries that had large sums of money were unable to procure food for their population because there was a decline in the production of food during that period. And countries were producing food just for their population needs. We in Guyana, as I said at many forums, that we are producing 60% of the food that we are consuming. And I want to tell you here today that now over the last 4 years, we have seen agriculture has become one of the most attractive sectors in our country. And not only in Guyana, but in the region. Why? Not because of the crisis that we have experienced during the pandemic, during the COVID pandemic. People are now embracing agriculture. But people are embracing agriculture because today it's more important that we achieve food security. The chairman of the region just mentioned about the reduction of the food import bill in CARICOM, that we are working very hard in CARICOM. There are all 15 member states in CARICOM and the 5 associated states. We are working to reduce the food import bill by 25% by the end of 2025. And we are making tremendous progress. Countries in the Caribbean, countries in the region, whose economy were built on things like tourism, activities like tourism, oil and gas, and other activities, are now embracing fully agriculture. Who wouldn't expect a place like Barbados? And you know Barbados is a tourist island. Barbados, now they are producing the shrimp that we have been growing accustomed to right here in Region 6. They are producing brackish water shrimp in Barbados. They have started the construction of a number of shade houses on the island. We have started to work along with places like Trinidad and Tobago to resuscitate their rice industries. and a number of Eastern Caribbean countries, we have seen how they have been embracing Guyana and what we have been doing in Guyana to expand and start their agriculture sector. Why? And I am very proud, and all of us should be proud, because for a period in our country, Guyana had lost its place at one time, because since the formation of CARICOM, Guyana always lead in food security and agriculture in CARICOM. But for a period from 2015 to 2020, we had lost that place. Our place was taken up by St. Vincent. And at the first heads of government meeting in 2021, our president rescued that position once again, and he's leading the charge in CARICOM. But for the first time in the history of CARICOM, we have seen the political will from the other leaders in CARICOM to embrace some of the ideas, or most of the ideas, that was put forward by His Excellency the President. Why? Because it's practical idea and it's ideas that can be accomplished. And when our President made that presentation in 2021 in Belize, I was there with him, and he put forward the idea that, look, the countries in the Caribbean are importing too many products that we can produce. And he showed how we can achieve, from 2021 to 2025, he showed how we can achieve a reduction of the food import bill by 25%. And from there, a task force was set up. And today, I am happy to say that that task force and the countries in CARICOM are making very, very strong effort to achieve that goal. And with forms like these, what we are doing here now, in the history of our country, we never had these forms so that we can enlighten our young people, where our young people can have a different perception about agriculture. And as I said, that the perception that they have now, we want to change that. We want to ensure that we make agriculture more modern, make agriculture more resilient, so that they can embrace agriculture. Today, what we are doing, we have been working and partners with a number of organizations, especially the private sector, to have investment in this very important sector. Today, our country, we have embarked on a program where all the crops and all the activities that we have started since the inception, our foreparents came to Guyana, we have started to expand those areas. We have seen increased production over the last 4 years. For the last year, agriculture grew by almost 12%, the agriculture sector. For the first half of this year, we have seen growth. The agriculture sector grew by 8.7%. And that tells us a story, because when a number of countries around the world, many people, as Guyana is the fastest growing economy, and we have the largest growth rate in the world, many persons are alluding that to the oil and gas sector. Yes, the oil and gas sector is important, it's causing us a lot of growth. But when you have sectors, the traditional sectors, that experience double-digit growth for a year, that's a tremendous achievement. Because countries around the world which are not producing oil and gas, their economies are contracting. And imagine one sector, the agriculture sector last year grew by 12%. And this year again, we are seeing a tremendous growth. For the first 6 months, the mid-year report, if you go and read the Minister of Finance mid-year's report, you will see that the agriculture sector grew by 8.7%. And it's testimony to show that the agriculture sector is moving, and we are moving rapidly. I see Mr. Rambridge, who is the president of the RPA, in the crowd, and he will tell you, and many of you who are rice farmers here will know, since the starting of rice planting in our country, since our foreparents came to Guyana, introduced that activity into our country, for the first time in the history of this country, we have surpassed the 700,000 ton mark in rice production. That's an achievement for us. That's an achievement for us. And I am telling you, by the end of the year, because there are a number of some areas already, about 15,000 acres remain to be harvested, we will produce approximately 725,000 tons of rice. That tells a story. Why? And for rice farmers today, they are experiencing better yield because the government is investing in this sector. We are seeing a number of investment. Infrastructure has been developed. We are making new infrastructure. A number of new canals are being built. Farm to Market Road. And I heard the chairman just now put another challenge. And as the regional chairman say, that we are not waiting for challenges to act. We sometimes act, and then the chamber and other organizations put out the challenge. Like this was in the making when Mr. Punai spoke at the Berbice at the Corentyne Expo. And within 3 weeks we get it up and running. Just spoke about opening up more lands. Well, I want to inform him that a technical implementation committee has formed in Region 6. 2 weeks ago I formed the committee, and they are now putting up ideas how we can expand and develop the 38,000 new acres of land on the Corentyne going up to Molson Creek. We already have that money budgeted, and we had a meeting. I think Adrian is a member of that committee. Adrian is a member of that committee, and a number of other farmers. And we have land from number 52 right on to Molson Creek. And now we are looking, and very shortly, I understand there was a meeting last week. And I understand that I will have a report, and we'll start immediately. But those are the kind of things that we are talking about. And the investment is not only in one sector. We have seen how we have changed people's lives, especially people who are doing subsistence farming. Over the years, many of you all in Region 6 here will know that the farmers who were doing the brackish water shrimp, they were doing it on a subsistence basis. They were producing it when we start out a project, when the president instructed that we should start and help these farmers. They were producing 9,333 kilograms of shrimp per month. At that time when we started it, almost 2 years ago. Last year, that industry in Region 6 earned a total of $1.8 billion with the kind of investment that we have made. We have increased production from 9,333 kilograms monthly to now 98,000 kilograms. And we are only 75 to 80% completion, completion in the project. So by the end of the project, where 80 farmers will be in the first phase, when we complete that, we expect that shrimp production will increase to about 120 to 130,000 kilograms monthly. And that money is coming back right in the community. We have started to expand investment in research and development. That is why we have partnered with the IDB to establish these model farms so that we can bring, and I want here to inform the education officer, only last Thursday, we were instructed by His Excellency the President that the Minister of Education and I should get together, and in every single school in this country, we will build a shade house and they will start the production firstly of commodities that they wanted in the Caribbean. So every single school in this country will build a shade house. And there the students in the school will learn firsthand how we will do the agriculture and how we will improve agriculture. So I agree with her, but then we are expanding, as I said, we have built a soil lab where we'll be doing tests so that farmers can know what type of crop they can grow in various areas. We plan to do mass tests in the entire country so that farmers can know what type of soil they are farming, and we can advise them what type of crop is best suited in those areas. We have seen a total transformation in the agriculture sector on new crops. For us to capture the imagination and the attention of the young people, to bring them into agriculture, we have to make agriculture more modern, more resilient, and less labor intensive. That is why when we sat down and we were discussing how we should bring in or how we can attract more young people, although they would have gone to the Guyana School of Agriculture and came out with a diploma in agriculture, or they have gone to the University of Guyana and came out with a degree in agriculture or agronomy, they are still not doing agriculture. They are rather to do a minimal clerical work. But since we have started, or since we have launched a company that the President conceptualized, the Agriculture Innovation Entrepreneurship Program, and where we are making young people shareholders of this company. And at the end of the year, they are receiving dividend. We are seeing hundreds, if not thousands of young people today are coming in and embracing agriculture. At Mandripo, we started out with 54 shade houses. And across the country, we are now expanding the program. And we are not only expanding the Agriculture Innovation Entrepreneurship Program to only crops. We have also extended to poultry farming, where we are now bringing in modern tunnel houses. And we have a number of groups in Region 3, Georgetown, Region 5. Very shortly, we're launching one in Region 6, where we are bringing professional young people, and where we are helping them to, they can help and come into agriculture and enjoy good earnings. So these are the things that the government have been doing. As I said, we have built this ILAB already. But with the renewed interest that we are seeing in the agriculture sector, with more and more people coming into this sector, and where people are looking now to not only come in here, but to increase the yield, we are now building a tissue culture lab, because the amount of nurseries that we have, 11 nurseries around the country, we cannot satisfy the needs of people to give them planting material and the type of planting material. So we are now working with the government of India, and we have signed an agreement or a contract with an Indian company, the Terry Group of Company, and we are now building a tissue culture lab at Mandripo. That lab will produce millions of planting material. But more importantly, when we produce planting material from the tissue culture lab, it will be pest resistance and disease resistance. So for example, like rice, you know the rice now being attacked by paddy bugs. Or you have other pests in the other crop, the white fly or the smut diseases and things like that. We will produce planting material which can withstand those pests and diseases, so that we can have proper yield and we can increase production tremendously. So what we are doing, comrades and friends, we are now modernizing, and Guyana is a major player. We want Guyana to be a food hub. We want Guyana to be in a country where we will produce food for the entire region. That is why we are expanding in every single area in the agriculture sector, every single sector, livestock sector, aquaculture, crops, you name it. We have started the production of corn and soya. We have transformed barren land in the Tacoma Savannah. You could drive from Georgetown and reach in the Tacoma Savannah in 2 hours. 2 to 3 hours you could meet in the Tacoma Savannah. We have thousands of acres of corn and soya being produced and cultivated in the Tacoma Savannah. We have built modern infrastructure there. We have built these silos. We have increased the capacity from 12,000 tons to 18,000 tons. We are now building a wharf in the Berbice River next to the Tacoma area. And we are building a conveyor system that to transport the corn or soya directly into the ship. So there's a total transformation when you go to these areas. We are now bringing in and working with the farmers in the livestock industry. And you'll see here what we are doing. We have almost every single area that we are trying to have in this model farm, so that farmers, school children can come and do research here. We'll have people who are qualified to run this area here, to deal with them, so that we can have the interest once again renewed in people, and also from the young age, from school children, they can have an interest in agriculture. If we can do that, we will guarantee that we'll leave a legacy. We'll leave a legacy in this country where we will have food security, because that's very important for every single one of us. And as a government, we value the contribution of farmers in our country. Gone are the days, you remember not so long ago when we heard that agriculture was a private business and we can't spend money in agriculture. The budget in 2014, the 2014 budget, the last year of the PPP civic government in office, the budget was $18.5 billion. And when we went back in 2020, instead of increasing it, it reduced to $13 billion. That's when we heard that agriculture or rice growing is a private business. From that time to now, we have come a long way. We have seen investment today in the agriculture sector. $97.6 billion have been budgeted this year to improve agriculture. Leaving out that, central government is expending large sums of money to modernize the entire infrastructure. As I'm speaking now, $6 billion is being expended to build these Hope-like canals in Region 6. Works have already commenced to start the commence in those areas. So we are doing massive investment, and I want this model farm to be a farm where school children will be coming here regularly, where farmers will be coming here regularly, because all the crops that we are growing in our country, especially the new crops that we have embarked on, things like corn, soya, the high value crops, carrot, broccoli, cauliflower, lettuce, you name it. Those are the crops I want people to come here and learn to grow. Because in 2021, we imported in this country $2.6 billion in high value crops. Things like broccoli, cauliflower, carrot, lettuce, bell pepper, you name it. And today the hospitality industry is expanding in our country. And while the demand for these crops will become more intensify, where the demands will intensify, we'll have to ensure that we grow more of these crops. And from 2021, I can tell you safely, with the introduction of all these shade houses and all these areas that we have started to grow these crops, we have seen a reduction in import. The oil and gas industry give us another opportunities as farmers to expand our production. And sometimes we don't want to change the way we do things. We want to do it how our foreparents was doing it 20 years ago and expect to get better results. We can't do that. We have to change it. We have to do it in a more scientific way. Instead of giving four person to throw the manure in the field, We get drone now and start to implement drones to do it. We are some of the farmers now are demanding aircraft. Because we are seeing more and more innovation coming into this sector. So it's important that what we are doing here, I just spoke to the coordinator and I told him that all the crops, all the new crops, we must have it here and we must ensure that we train people to grow those crops. Whilst we are doing that, we are also building new things. For example, we will build shortly, we are constructing a hatchery where we will produce our own larvae. We have started the production of banami prawns, and this is a very lucrative species of shrimp. And we are now building a hatchery which will complete by the end of this year. We are building a feed mill that we will produce our own feed, and we will ensure that we expand that sector also and give the opportunities to farmers so they can go into that sector. So agriculture today is becoming very exciting, very competitive, and we are making it more modern. So with the commissioning and opening of this model farm here this afternoon, I hope that we make full use of it. I will ensure that all the officers in my sector who will be here, they will coordinate closely first of all with the school and also with farmers across Region 6 so that we can train farmers on a regular basis to implement best practices, to implement a system where we can have more resilience, more modernness, a more scientific way of doing things so that we can increase the yield and expand production. So I'm happy to be here this afternoon. I'm happy to commission this model farm. Let us use it to our benefit. This is the government's vision. This is the government's commitment to the people of our country to ensure that we prepare you for food security and make Guyana what it used to be before, the breadbasket once again of the Caribbean. Because in every single sector, be it livestock, be it aquaculture, be it crops, you name it, we are moving and we are moving rapidly. Guyana today is the center of attention for agricultural activity in CARICOM. We have seen, as I said earlier, we have seen the political will once again from Caribbean leaders. They have embraced once again the ideas of our president and the ideas of our government. Not so long ago when, from 1999 to 2011, another president of Guyana, Dr. Jack Dale, would have brought out the Jack Dale's initiative of the binding constraint in agriculture. At that time, we didn't see the kind of reaction that we are seeing now. But with the ideas of reducing the food import bill so that we can reduce it by 25% by 2025, we have seen that political will today, where almost every single leaders in the Caribbean are embracing the idea of His Excellency, the President of our country. All of us should be proud. And today is testimony to that idea, that vision that we are commissioning this farm. Let us make full use of it. Let us continue to expand agriculture in Region 6. This is an important agriculture region for our country. This region makes valuable contribution to Guyana's GDP. Let us expand it, and with the new 35,000 acres of land that we will put under cultivation and put under operation, this region will be one of the region's most productive area of our country. Thank you very much.
You see what I was talking about, passion, commitment to the sector. We've come down to the end of our program today. This will be followed by a tour of the facilities by those at the head table, and of course, all of you are welcome to tour the facility as well. So we'll now have the vote of thanks by the Chief Executive Officer of NARI, Mr. Corentyne Singh.
Thank you very much, Chris. I have a very easy task after listening to Minister, just to say thank you to everyone, thank you to the media, thank you to the students, thank you to the farmers. But before I just finish my easy task, I just want to say thank you to Minister of Agriculture for leading us over the last 4+ years in changing the face of agriculture in Guyana.
while the minister would have mentioned that we would have rescued back the position as lead of agriculture in CARICOM, and he mentioned President Irfanali, the minister is leading. He's the lead minister in agriculture in the region, and he is leading that 25 by 2025 in the region. And when I say the region, CARICOM region, and not just Guyana alone. And sometimes, I know I'm a little old, yes, but sometimes I understand the energy you have. Yesterday, I think we were at Oriala Sipruta. Today we are here. Tomorrow we are going to Baracara, and Minister is leading from the front. Minister, thank you very much, and thank you for the passion you would have shown. And I want to tell you, this morning I had a talk with some students from the Bishop's High School, and I was stolen a piece of your phrases that you use. Agriculture is the leading industry or the most important sector in Guyana. Agriculture is the only thing that can provide good, wholesome, fresh food on your table. And I think without that, you would not be healthy enough to, you can get every other thing. You can have the money, you have gold, diamond, mineral, oil and everything, but if you don't have good, wholesome food, you have to thank the farmer, and I'm sure thank the minister for going the extra mile and changing what we are doing in Guyana. I'm head of NARI, and I can tell you the emphasis you would have mentioned and placed on soil analysis, soil testing, the emphasis on tissue culture, the emphasis on the amount of shade houses. You would have mentioned we got 54 shade houses at NARI, we got 25 with hot pepper, we got 3 with cocoa, coffee, and it's expanding, and it keeps expanding as you go along, and all is being driven by the minister. While I'm saying thank you to the minister and thank you to the team, thank you, Chairman. Thanks to the other speakers at the head table for coming out at short notice, because I'm sure when I look at the program, it would have changed drastically with some additional on it today. Thank you everyone, the media, the students, and I'm sure this farm, with the leadership that Minister would have showed, would satisfy and make sure that we have its objective fulfilled at the end of the day. Thank you very much, and do have a good day. We'll have a tour on the farm, and I'm sure there were some snacks for the students arranged by Alvin and his team from ESDU. Thank you very much, and do have a nice day.
They got some in between. They got some in between, Minister. Look, okay.
Good afternoon, excuse me. All the school children, 1 second, slow down. The staff from the Ministry of Agriculture is asking you to just go by the Benab there. The Benab on your right hand when going out. Just go there. Look, before you go there, Minister wants you on this side though, please. So don't go there for it. Come around this side, Minister. Please. All the students.
Sweet pepper.
This is
sweet pepper.
This is the Blue Star sweet pepper. Harvest lettuce here already. There will be some dragon fruits after the pepper harvest though.
Oh wow.
Corn and soya.
We're gonna put in another mix.
Yes. Whenever I walk out, forget it. They watch.
We're doing the shrimps. A little jump out here, and then fine.
These are this?
Yeah, we bring in this a lager size, juvenile. So we feeding them in it.
Why bring them from Pirates?
It's not. We
by
have
number
the shrimp
11.
saloon. We could do sorrel to what? Sorrel.
Yeah, this is back to in 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Faster.
Nice badge.
Oh, that is somebody could have this.
So the size of it.
Hi, Jen. I know the steel facture. We're going on. You're going to leave it down there. Carry it, carry it.
So we get to the vermicompost and then they are like
Don't do it.
But the thing is, tomorrow we're gonna need them, right? You gotta find another one.
Tomorrow?
No.
Alright. We collect flags on
sorry, we just have some. But it's still a small one.
You want to get one more like the, this one, you know.
Come in.
So here we're utilizing the waste, animal waste, and we using the California redworm vermicompost. These ready to harvest, so we continue harvest it and use it on the crops. And these California redworm expensive, $100 per pound.
Where we get
We
it
actually
from?
buy it from my pony, a guy named Mr. Fraser.
How much you get it from?
And we buy 2 pounds and then we multiply and we supply the country.
They're good.
Thank you.
Proper thing, these two the persons who oversee what's happening here. They were brought here from chicken. No, they're just 4 months. Yeah, they're 4 or 5 months now. Now we start to drop one.
4 months?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there another location. One of the rooms is not close to 11 pounds. Right now, so we also left them out on the outside because they're browsers, so they have to be left out. But I'm telling you, Chief, the farmers are very, very interested in this, and they keep on the outside. Yeah, so that side we got the livestock.
How you doing? Alright? I want to be coming right here. Talk to the guy with the red shirt. This right here.
The cattle this way. Here again, we're demonstrating.
Hey man, tell me go fund the gate and go wait and we'll meet you there.
Let it go right
And then we're going to deal with the close again.
Okay.
Yeah, this.
So again, what we did, we brought the vino, so we can demonstrate.
Just gotta soak your foot.
On the road.
The one so like we did 5, we will have a cafe where we have the sheep from the
Touch her. It's attractive.
Of particular concern is the housing and the demonstration of the foreign.
Yes, sanitize outdoors.
Yeah. Doctor, Irisa.
The thing is, the pin.
No, but let's stop there.
Yeah, that's going up.
Just stop there. Minister don't go up. Don't let him go up. Just stop there. Minister going up. Come here. I'll bring the students. We're going to pull up there. Wait, bucket to two more. Nicholas said okay. Nicholas!
Nicholas!
Nicholas! Nicholas!
Nicholas!
Nicholas!
There. You get to me? Oh, Nicholas. Oh, you're going to collect.
Come in. Yeah, Minister. Yes. There is no fertilizer, no chemical.
Collect the black giant. Oh my
All right for now.
Yes, that's okay for now.
All right for now. All right for now. That's actually please.
Again, it's jumping with them. Creating basic.
I ain't got anything.
Yeah, you know it's. Yeah.
Too much, right?
Yeah, it looks.
Yeah, basic housing elevated 10 for the small.
For the thing Costa Rica, right?
Yes, and we have a similar design as one before we extended.
No, yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Selwyn, what is security?
I got more than one.
Who's the security?
Yeah, it looks
Yeah, we have security.
Excuse me.
Ruth, this will be you and he will be. I am not playing crossbreed goat. Jingle, let's go.
Chuck your foot.
Where is that? Yeah, where is from?